Warriors, good morning. I wore the tinfoil hat for you guys today, even though it's going to be about 90 degrees in Arizona. The reason why, Warriors, is I'm a happy man today. I'm happy pretty much every day, coming off vacation in Disney World, one of the happiest places on earth. And also, while we're in Disney World, XRP shoots over $1. Just got back. It's amazing, Warriors. So my name is Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. I'm the coach who said, don't believe a word I say. If you give a man or woman a fish, they'll eat for one day. If you give them a fishing pole, they will eat for a lifetime. I'm a follower of God. I love the life of Jesus. I'm non-religious and I accept everybody. And all I ask is in my comments, say what you mean. Don't say it mean. And also, there's many people imitating my profile. So I'll never ask you to send me money. I do not invest money for people. I share with people my journey into the quantum financial system. We'll explain that later at the end of the video. But I want to jump right into it, Warriors. Very exciting times right now. But I want to tell you a quick story, and I just talked about this. It's going to be on my podcast tomorrow, the Coach JV podcast. Now, I was buying XRP when it was about 13 cents, peaked up to 17 cents around that time, and I've been accumulating XRP for a long time. And now, I want to talk about that intuitive tug, right? So obviously I've gotten hundreds of messages over the past couple of days around XRP, which is awesome. I want to hear those messages because I want to help people into the quantum financial system. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. I'm just helping people, okay? So one of the things that I want you to listen to now is what's called the intuitive tug. Okay, we are heading into the quantum financial system. Banks are going to central bank digital currencies. You are going to operate on a digital type currency no matter what. The freight train has already left the building. This isn't wondering if it's going to happen or deciding whether it's going to happen and taking advice from somebody who says it's not going to happen. They're wrong. It is happening. We are moving into a quantum financial system. The whole ecosystem of how you live by 2025 is going to change. By 2030, it's going to radically change. And by 2050, you're going to be living in a completely different world. Let me repeat that. By 2050, you're going to be living in a completely different world, all based around technology. Your finances are going to be different. The way you communicate is going to be different. The way you date is going to be different. The way you consume is going to be different. Everything you do is going to be different. Okay, so I'm going to take you on a journey of some things that are happening with XRP, but I've been sharing this with you guys for a long time. XRP has the ability to shake the world, to literally change the world. Okay, there's many cryptocurrencies out there that have the same ability, okay? Now, XRP specifically speaks to my heart. I'm an ex-banker, and I understand the infrastructure of the banking system, the SWIFT system, and how archaic our banking system is. And it's going to take multiple systems and processes in the private and public sector coming together to help change the world. Now, you can get caught up in nefarious activities, you can get caught up in elites and this and that, and you can complain about it all day, or you can do something about it. Or you can become one of the elites and have them talking about you saying there's nefarious things. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to become so wealthy and the people around me are going to become so wealthy that they're going to say we're doing nefarious things. Anytime someone is doing something that you don't see behind the scenes, you can't see the Wizard of Oz, we're always going to come up with an opinion. So instead of complaining about it, do something about it. That's one of my biggest things I've seen. It's just like, I think it's Gandhi who says, be the change you want to see in the world. When I see people protesting and all they're doing is talking and not actually changing themselves and taking action internally, I don't give it any validity because you can protest all day. What does that do? But until you start to change your internal person, you don't meet violence with violence. You want peace, you be peace. You want love, you be love. You want abundance, you become abundant. But until you get there, you're never going to have that or sustain it. So we're going to jump through these videos here, and I'm going to share with you guys a video from Davos. These are the things that I watch out there, even when I'm on vacation. When I have a moment in time, I'm studying. Now, I showed you some of this video before, but I want to show you how it aligns with the global infrastructure of finance is changing. XRP is working to help with financial inclusion, and I want to share with you guys the non-nefarious side of it. Okay, now we get so caught up in the elites monitoring everything, but there is countries right now that can't even get money out of their country because of the monetary system that we set up. They can't even get money out of their country. They are so impoverished, they cannot even move money. It costs more money to move the money than it does the value of the dollar. So this is helping people all over the world. People say they want to feed people in other countries. They feel bad that people are dying, or even in our own country. There's people who don't have access to funds. There's many unbanked people. So you can go on the nefarious side and say they're going to monitor everything. They're monitoring everything now. And on the other side, there's a system that we can set up that everybody can be banked. Everybody can have access to finances, have access to products and services, and it's called financial inclusion. That's what XRP has the ability to do. So we're going to watch this video from Davos, the Davos Agenda 2021, Resetting Digital Currencies. I want you to listen to keywords, and I'm going to show you a few things that I've been pulling up as I was on vacation here.
Arrive and should we arrive at some sort of globally consistent standard for this regulatory framework? And what role will Singapore play in contributing to that global agenda? Do you think that you have an opportunity in this environment to take leadership, or do we go back to a scenario that Dr. Pantoliano and I were talking a little bit about, in some respects, the big countries set the rules, the US, of course, being the elephant in the room here. Where do you see this international process going?
Well, I think, actually, payment systems are a very interesting example of how I wouldn't say multilateralism, but a broad set of international players are now actively collaborating with each other. International regulators and central banks are actively collaborating with each other. And the roadmap we all want to be on as we explore this rapidly changing landscape, or as we traverse this rapidly changing landscape. The FSB, working together with the G20, has been in the lead, and Singapore has been a very active member of these working groups. So I would say, if I compare it with some other aspects of international affairs, this area is actually working fairly well. You've got a set of players around the table, large countries and small, who have a common interest. Central banks tend to think roughly alike, a common interest in safety, stability, efficiency, resilience. And that process has already gone forward a fair bit. One issue that really haven't resolved or gone very far, it doesn't even study, is the whole issue of integrity of different international systems, or what the economists would call monetary sovereignty. In the traditional world, we already had a problem. Small developing countries were always at risk of what was called dollarization of their economies. There's a major country currency, the US dollar being the most prominent, which was always available to firms and consumers of that country. And whenever there was a hint of sovereign risk, and there was worries about whether the central bank would run out of reserves, people would just start switching into dollars. And there are some economies today where the dollar is still a major unit of transaction and a store of value. Now that, which is a traditional risk, will become much more pronounced if you have a digital currency, because it'll be that much cheaper and faster to switch from domestic currency assets into foreign currency assets. And it's an issue, honestly, that we haven't begun to address. And is one of...
Okay, so I want to break that down for you. Sorry for the choppiness. That's how the video showed up when they're all doing this Zoom calls everywhere. So think about what he just said, Warriors. Countries from all over the world, big and small, are coming together to come up with the private and public sector, coming together to move money now. Do you feel the narrative around the American dollar? You are getting stimulus checks nonstop. You're probably going to get more stimulus checks. It's heading towards a UBI type system. The US dollar is being deflated dramatically. We're moving to a CBDC. I told you guys a central bank digital currency is going to bring you closer to the central bank, and it's going to help them manipulate, I hate to use the word manipulate, but your funds, they can actually devalue the value of your money. So that's going to push people more to these types of products, XLM, XRP. Now let's see what XRP is doing in the marketplace that's making the price surge. Now I want you to think about something. All of those people that text me when I was locked down during the or whatever it was during Christmas and New Year's during the C word in the pandemic, people were like, I'm out of XRP. When Jay Clayton, I said, I kept saying it's a political theater, sit tight, be patient. Well, guess what? Even during the SEC lawsuit, last night it hit over $1. XRP price surges 55% to a 3-year high amid push for financial inclusion. Cross-border payments acquisition and renewed push to increase global financial inclusion triggered a 55% price increase. The price of XRP saw a 55% breakout. Now, as I'm saying this right now, it's over $1 right now. Over the past 2 days, as the 6th-ranked cryptocurrency by market capitalization has renewed its focus in the creation of cross-border payments network that is inclusive and sustainable. This is amazing. Now check this out. Here's what they did. So Ripple acquires 40% stake in Asia's leading cross-border payment specialist, Tranglo. I can't even say that. I probably should say it right since I'm going to be heavily invested. Tranglo and Ripple came together. Ripple has agreed to acquire 40% of Asia's leading cross-border payment specialist, Tranglo. This partnership enables Ripple to meet growing customer demands in the region and expand to reach of RippleNet's on-demand ODL services, which uses XRP's assets to instantly send money and reduce working capital needs. Go back to my videos last year when I was talking about the real world solve of XRP. When I hear people say XRP is a shitcoin, it makes me cringe. If they obviously don't understand business infrastructure. They don't understand how banks work. They don't understand that our bankings are in a liquidity crisis. They don't understand fractional reserves, that banks only keep 10% of your deposits. And we are in a liquidity crisis. Number one, we're in a printing machine devaluing your money. People are going to lose their jobs. The middle class is going to get wiped out. If this type of infrastructure is not set up, the economy will collapse. As a pioneer of cross-border payments, Tranglo will play a critical role in supporting existing corridors such as the Philippines, and introducing new ODL corridors within its current network. Ripple broadens its ODL footprint in the region. RippleNet customers using ODL will also be able to leverage Ripple's line of credit for free working capital. What did I tell you? Liquidity and working capital. So to scale cross borders, this is why, this is huge, Warriors. Markets than ever before. Tranglo will continue to provide and expand its current payment services to make cross-border transactions faster, cheaper, and more secure for its customers. This is unbelievable. So this is on the actual Ripple website right here. So this is creating a more financially inclusive, sustainable future. That's what they've always been about, unlocking economic barriers and opportunities for all. So let's understand what is happening right here, Warriors. You have to understand what's happening. Here's the partners: Mercy Corp, Care, RippleWorks. So all these companies right here, Majaloop, I'll pull this one up. Now this is where I got a bunch of messages when I said something about this. And I just want to explain my point of view on this. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. People were going off. Oh, what are you talking about? The V word. I guess it's the C word, the P word, the V word, right? And they're going on and on and on. And it's like, you could sit there all day and complain about nefarious activities and this and that. Whereas they are monitoring you now. You have a choice to become the elite. You have a choice to become the uncommon 1% and then change the narrative. In my opinion, stop complaining about them, then change the narrative. Be so good that you can actually be someone who does the things like this, who partners with Ripple, who is able to be part of the World Economic Forum and be a difference maker. That's that gentleman that was from Facebook. I cannot remember his name. He is one of those people that's like, hey, I'm going to become he's a billionaire now, and he wants to make change. He's outwardly speaking about it. That is my goal. I will die trying to become one of the richest people in the world so I can bring the money back to the people. But think about this. These companies are all about bringing financial inclusion. Okay, Majaloop. Let's take a look at Majaloop again. Ripple and Majaloop Foundation created more financial inclusive future. Okay, Q&A. Majaloop Foundation Director Ken Weber, Head of Social Impact with Ripple. Let's see, what are some of the questions? With the launch of Majaloop Foundation as a charitable organization to support the deployment of Majaloop open source software, Organization sponsors member will take the responsibility of providing financial and technical and legal assistance to ensure the health and growth of the users in their community. Ripple has been involved with Moduloop since its inception, providing technical advice and engineering support. This is so amazing. Ripple, let's see, what is financial inclusion? Why is financial inclusion critical to Ripple? Ripple founding vision is to enable the world to move value like information does today, a concept we refer to as the Internet of Value. This vision remains essential to Ripple's foundation and contributes to drive, motivation, and greater economic opportunity for all. So I'm going to stop right there, Warriors, and I want to explain to you what's happening right now. Now, the beautiful thing about this, what's nostalgic, is I was in Disney World, and there's a ride inside Epcot Center, and I forgot the name of it, but there's a tram that takes you up through this track that goes up into the end, and it takes you through the world, right? And there was another thing called... it was like this circular theater, right? And you go through it, and it ended at 2 spots. It ended at 2 spots, and the weirdest part was I was actually in the first ride, and I should have been present, but I was in the first ride. My daughter and my son were in the front, and I was making a trade, or I was moving some cryptocurrency during the last part of it. And the last part of it is beyond what we are living now. They were explaining the future of our world. And back when I used to go through that when I was a kid and when my parents went through that, we couldn't imagine a world with computers. We couldn't imagine a world where we could communicate through email. We couldn't imagine a world. And you're now in that position. You're in that position of your parents going, that's never going to happen. Guess what? Money is going to move just like an email. It's happening right now, Warriors. Now, a lot of you are going to say, oh, it's too late to get in. Too late to get in. This is the new infrastructure. It's like 1600s is the last time we had a new asset class. It'd be like in the 1600s that we're starting a brand new asset class. And you're going, we're never going to have that type of monetary system, Warriors. You are not too early. Your strategy may change a little bit. Maybe dollar cost averaging and becoming a long-term holder. You still have an opportunity to make some great profits. But this is not just about making quick money, Warriors. This is about setting your family up for a future of a lifetime. You could start a dollar cost averaging strategy to get into it, but you also have to know a couple things. Number one is you got to be in real world fundamental cryptocurrencies that have a real world solve, because what is true is that when regulation comes, a lot of bad actors are going to get wiped out. There's thousands of cryptocurrencies. Okay, that's one thing that's going to happen. Number two is most people get wrecked because they have no exit strategy. I just hit my VeChain exit target, my first one. I got to pull some profits right now. Right when I jump off, I'm going to do that because I have a strict exit strategy. So I ladder myself out on the way up, and we have that in our Warrior Academy. We give you an Excel spreadsheet to teach you how to do that. You have to be around a group of people too that are going to keep you grounded in what's fundamentally actually happening. You also got to make sure your gut is clear and your mind is clear and you're moving, Warriors. Because you can have all the wealth in the world, but if you don't have your health, you have nothing. So that's what we created here at the Warrior Academy. I'm going to talk about it every single video. It's very important. There's no other time in history right now. Down below, you can click the link. You can join our Warrior Academy. Work out with you live daily. Nutrition, subconscious mind programming around wealth, goal setting, habit stacking, 120-day challenge. Beginner course in cryptocurrency, technical analysis, cryptocurrency call on Thursday. We have a technical analysis call on Friday. What else do we have? We have access to my portfolio. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. It's documenting my journey. Access to an exit strategy, a very strict exit strategy, and a Discord with over 900 warriors now supporting and helping each other, answering questions. It is a community, so you're surrounded by the right people. So people aren't pulling and picking at you as you're trying to make these decisions to change your family's lives. So you can tell I'm fired up, I'm refreshed, I'm ready to go. The videos are going to get even better, and I'm going to continue to bring you information to help you get into this quantum financial system and become the top, whatever you want to be in the world. Warriors, rise, let's go.